Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, the classic review of Destro, Cobra's weapons maker, or hell, he might be making weapons for G.I. Joe. Let's be honest, he really was going to be working for the highest bidder. Now, this is my original Destro. This is my original backpack. This is not my original gun. Thank you once again to Johnny Reno, Cage's Customs, once again for hooking me up, helping me complete a lot of these figures, or at least just have some of the stuff. In the back, the backpack, which does open up, you can see I have one of the old ones, and then I have a broken gun. I've lost my gun a long time ago. He was sitting there with the replacement, that blue one, which actually has a really good blue, but didn't have this. So anyway, now he is complete. We're going to go over him. This was always one of my favorite figures. And I have a feeling I'm not going to be the only one that says that. People absolutely love Destro. The only thing that I really wish on this is that he had the big collar. I loved the big collar. You didn't really get that, so he didn't look as menacing. But it's not the worst thing. We eventually got them in later iterations of this figure. But anyway, let me tell me a story about this if you had this figure. But you know what? I think if we've wasted enough time looking at me, you guys want to look at this. Go over the designs. I know you might be wondering, why would you review this? Well, there's so much love that was given into these characters, and I've noticed while doing classified reviews that I really wanted to go back and start reviewing all the original O-rings, at least what I have. So anyway, let's not waste any more time. But before we do, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classic review. Alright, here we have Destro, and this is not my original Destro, and I know that because this is painted. I also play with my Destro a lot, and I remember him being in much worse conditions. So, that was painted. I would not have painted any figure that I only had one of if I wasn't trying to customize it, and believe me, I was not a really good customizer. So anyway, this is your weapons expert, weapons supplier, and I always love Destro. So anyway, we're going to take a look at everything that he comes with, and once again, I have to say thank you to Johnny Reno, Cage's Customs, who supplied me with Destro's actual laser pistol, as the ones that I had were unfortunately, and they're both in here, I always loved it, you could hold stuff in there, was either broken or it was the from the weapons pack and the blue one, which I really do like the blue color. But anyway, we're going to take a look at Destro's gun, and I always love this little thing. It was different. It's got a nice little scope on it. You got the grip. You can even see the trigger. It does have some sort of magazine right there, although it's supposed to be a laser pistol. But it does have some nice little designs on it. It looks pretty cool. That back looks awful. Looks like somebody was chewing on it. That one, I guess maybe that's just over time I got worn. But anyway, there's his little laser, and even look at the detail right there in the, in the barrel. It's supposed to have some sort of like where it would be. I'm just looking at these. It almost looks like this one might be a repro. There are a lot of people that did repros, and this one is worn. I think this is an actual repro. Let's look at it compared to this one here. Very interesting. No, maybe not. Maybe they just did a better... Yeah, you know what? Looks like maybe they just did a better design, or fixed the molding a little bit when they did these ones. Anyway, what I was saying is you can kind of look there. It has some air vents right in it. So, as for the backpack, again, the backpack was awesome because it clipped together. It shows you which way it's supposed to go. It does have a little bit of texture to it. But the inside, not only could it hold his weapon, but you got to see exactly that he was an arms dealer. So you have an M16, 2 different magazines. It is taken apart. It can be put back together. It looks like it might be a bayonet style. So it really looks a lot like Airborne's. You have 2 flashbangs, 2 regular grenades, what looks like 2 other types of grenades, 2 different knives, and a small pistol, all molded in. And again, tell me that is not super, super badass for a kid in the 80s. As for Destro, now how you cannot love this figure, I don't know. So you have what looks to be vac metal, maybe. I'm not sure if it is vac metal, but it is casted in silver. It has a sheen to it. Very robotic looking, although we know it's not, or very Cylon looking in some ways. But you can see his eyes there. You see the nice creases, which I really never fully noticed, and then you have the mouth. Going down here, he has a necklace, which I believe has something to do with his ancestry. He's wearing a shirt underneath, which he didn't always. All right. And the chain just kind of follows there. The fact that they got the chain on there. Now, the one thing that I do wish from the cartoon, and I believe the comic also did it, is I loved that he had a huge collar. It was disappointing that he didn't. Something very small and minor, but it's red on the inside. You have the black on the outside. Now, this is where you really start to see a lot of tech on him. So he has some sort of like radio, some sort of communication device setting right there on his jacket. Here we have what looks to be a little latches where it's kind of held on. We go down his arms. Again, you can see all the texture in it. So it's just not smooth, right? So you have all the wrinkles here, and then you have the two rockets, which, let's be honest, so many of us played with. And then you have this rocket wrist guard, or however you want to call it. It's not technically a gauntlet. Going right into his gloves. Nice that he is gloved, because those rockets probably would have blown his, at least burnt his hands pretty well. On the back here, you can see where it's not technically a bandolier, because it goes down this way, but then it's going to strap up underneath here and then connect to the belt. On the other side, you still have the wrinkles here, and then you have what looks like 3 different types of detonations, maybe bombs of some sort. If you know exactly what they are, please tell me in the comments. Looking here, he has what looks to be like 2 straps, 2 buckles. Are they? Or those? I don't think those are 2 knives. But yeah, 2 buckles. There's the buckle, and there's the way that it straps in together. You got the nice wrinkles around his waist. Here we have the gun holster, which is supposed to be all red. 2 straps going across it there. You get down to the boots, and here you can see where the boots are separate, but he's all black, right? And go right down in the boots, which they give you a little bit of design, like they are supposed to be maybe steel-toed, but where this would be all hardened, so he doesn't have to worry about someone breaking his foot, and that's why they're separate, so it can shift around. And this always, I never understood the pouch here. He always had like the big pouch right there. It looks like maybe there's something supposed to be hidden underneath that, but it's hard to tell. As for the articulation, Destro can look side to side. It still can't look down yet. There you have your T-pose, your shoulder swivel, and then your, not Kung Fu grip, but swivel arm battle grip, and just over 90-degree turn. There is his Jean-Claude Van Damme. Due to the O-ring, he turns side to side. Looks forward, up and down, but these ones are meant to be like this, and then both the knees, again, 90 degrees. So he does have the pegs. Every figure has pegs other than the original Scarlet, which may be the only Scarlet for the longest time. As for the backpack, as I kind of mentioned, I tend to keep both of these guns in here. I figure why not, but the gun does fit in there perfectly fine without a problem. It'll rattle around, but who cares? And if you are lucky, you'll still have a backpack that closes and stays closed. This one might not, because I didn't put the stuff in there properly. But if you get that outlined in there, I'm kind of lying here. See, this does stay closed. I did have it closed before, because you saw it with it all. But anyway, it does go on that way. So the connection, the way that it opens up here, is going downward. Then we're going to take his little pistol and then slide it in his hands. The handle is small enough to grip there that he shouldn't have any problems. And again, any figure with A backpack tends to be back heavy, so just be careful. But there you go. That is your weapon supplier, Cobra's weapon supplier, or he'll sell weapons to G.I. Joe for, it doesn't matter, whoever the highest bidder is. Again, Destro is absolutely awesome. There you guys go. Alright, so there we have it. That is the review of Destro. I love this figure. I don't know how you can't love Destro. The fact that he's remained in such good condition over the years. I do try and remember the figures that I had as a kid that maybe I replaced. I don't ever remember replacing this figure. Obviously, the O-ring has been replaced. And this was a character that I played with an awful lot. So the fact that he's still in such good shape, but I did tend to take care of my stuff. I played with it, but I tended to try and take care of it. A lot of my other friends, not so much. And we had a lot of fun with their stuff. You want to zoom your vamp down the stairs? We can do that. Mine is being walked down with my little old legs. So anyway, tell me about this. Did you have this figure? Was this one that you begged, you pleaded? Maybe you got it from Grandma and Grandpa. Maybe you were at Kmart, Sears. I almost said Target. I don't think we had Targets back then. And you were there and Mom and Dad said, you can't get it. But Grandma was like, you know what? You get that. I'm going to buy that for you, little Johnny. I don't know because it's not my story. I don't remember getting this figure. I just know that I got them. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. But before we do, please, if you like this type of content, and why the hell wouldn't you? I mean, come on. We've gone back in time. Better time. No bills. Well, maybe you had bills in your life, but they were people and kids that you probably played G.I. Joe with. Anyway, please take a second. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classic review. Now, please don't go anywhere. Up here, I'm going to leave you a review of another vehicle or figure that I did, and down here will be a playlist of all the classic reviews that I've done. Take care.